You were part of a extraction team. Someone's daughter had been kind of gotten into a cult, and you had to go into this cult and infiltrate it to get her out. But that required you to solve all these mysteries and puzzles. So it all felt like a escape room.
Yeah.
And then at certain times, someone would scream and get their head chopped off, and blood would just blast everybody. And it was awesome. Oh, it was awesome. But it sells out like so fast. I've already got tickets. I've already got tickets this year. Yeah. And they may already be sold out. You could probably get some times at like 11 p.m. if you want to go. Yo ho ho! You're listening to the Daytripper podcast. My name is Chet Garner, and I introed like a pirate.
I was going to say, you're a pirate.
I don't know where that came from. Maybe I'm in the October mood.
Maybe
Spooky season.
Oh, no, you said yo ho ho. I was thinking in a bottle of rum.
Arr, mateys. No, we're not dressing up like pirates, at least not yet. I hadn't planned my Halloween costume quite yet. But joining me, Daniel Mecey, over here on the Buffalo couch.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, we're going to talk some Texas, so thanks for tuning in. Before we jump on. We're not even starting this thing yet. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. It helps our podcast grow. And you guys have been fantastic with the little excerpt reels on all the social medias and such. So it's fun. We're going to talk about one of those coming up. But right off the top, I want to talk about wrestling.
Okay.
Wrestlers. Daniel, you probably, you're younger than me by a few years. Did you grow up in a wrestling home?
I did not. And I know you did. We've talked about this a lot, especially Wichita Falls when we went to that museum.
The National Wrestling Hall of Fame and Museum.
Well, why are we talking about wrestling?
So, did you know that the great Haystacks Calhoun was born in Collin County?
I did not, and I actually do know who that is, though.
Yeah, big guy, wore overalls, Haystacks Calhoun. All right, so he was a famous professional wrestler, born on a farm in McKinney, which is the heart of Collin County. Here's some stats about old Haystacks. 6'4", 600 pounds.
Oh, my gosh.
And could move. He could move. He wasn't jumping off the top rope. Well, maybe he was. But the guy could move. He wrestled with the likes of Andre the Giant, Rocky Johnson. He wore a famous horseshoe as a necklace. He could carry 2 cows, one under each arm. And here was his breakfast menu. I guess if he was hungry. Hopefully he didn't eat this every day. He could eat a dozen eggs, a pound of bacon, a dozen pancakes, a quart of orange juice, and a whole pot of coffee.
Oh, my gosh.
That would put me under.
Haystacks
Calhoun. Man, this is fun. So the Collin County History Museum in McKinney has been generous to support our podcast for the past few months.
Yeah.
We've talked about Olympic gymnasts, the voice of Pinocchio. Now we got a professional wrestler. And so that's what they're doing right now at their museum. They have an exhibit called Created in Collin County, highlighting all the wonderful people who have come from Collin County.
That's awesome.
Pretty amazing.
Very
Haystacks
cool.
Calhoun, no idea he was a Texan. We know about the Von Erichs as Texans, and like Zac Efron's making a movie. Have you seen this?
Oh,
the Iron Fist.
Yes,
the Von Erich family, their whole family of wrestlers, and they have some pretty sad stories associated with them. But Zac Efron got jacked for this movie, and so I didn't. But now we can add Haystacks Calhoun to the list of great Texan wrestlers. All right, so if you want to learn about him and all the other people who've come from Collin County. Go to the Historic Museum. It's just off the square in the old post office. It is a free museum, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays from 10 to 4. Check them out, CollinCountyHistoryMuseum.com. McKinney is fun. There we go.
Awesome.
Okay, question. What are you going to be for Halloween?
Ooh, I don't know. I haven't put a ton of thought into it this year.
You have rocked the office pool for the past 12 years or however long we've done it.
If
we've hosted an office Halloween contest, Daniel has won. He has never been kicked off his throne.
I haven't. And it's made it to where it's almost not even fun anymore.
I don't know.
It's just so
come
easy.
And sweep up the peasant costumes that we all put together.
And now we don't have quite as many people in the office as we used to.
Yeah,
I think that when they lost, they all got upset and left. because that's what happens. You know, I keep winning, and so they're like, you know what? I don't even work here anymore.
And their whole value as employees was built around their ability to win the Halloween costume contest.
They told me that.
Yeah. So you've planned. I mean, you've done some killer costumes. Last year was Rip.
Last year I was Rip, and
your wife was Beth.
She did amazing. We both pulled it off pretty well. I will say the comments from the viewers on that one, I don't know if my wife likes some of them.
Oh no. Yeah.
But hey, I mean,
when you throw yourself out into the social media world, what can you do? Cruel world out there. I have no idea. I've got no clue. My wife likes to do the family costumes.
Yeah.
We've done the Lorax. Last year we were the Flintstones.
Yeah.
But the family costume is dependent upon the kids being on board.
Absolutely.
And our oldest son, Fielding, he was never on board. When he was young enough, we could force him to do it. But as soon as he was sort of had his own agency, he defected and he's never coming back. We were a group of trolls, like garden gnomes. We were a group of garden gnomes. That was a good costume year. The only thing we could convince him to be was a bag of soil, dirt. He wanted to be gardening soil. So he dressed in a full black spandex bodysuit, and he put a garbage sack around him, and he was soil. Because he didn't want anyone to see that he was associated with this family.
Oh, gosh.
But now our young ones all want to be on board. The young three, I think, want to be part of this. So, Laura, I punt that to Laura.
Yeah.
Laura's got that figured out. I mean, costumes were easier when we were kids. Remember, you would just go to the store, or you would just look in your costume closet.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I don't think
the pressure was quite as big.
No, gosh, no.
Because there was no social media. You weren't posting pictures everywhere.
No.
And the emphasis was on the candy.
Yeah, there's like,
am I going to dress up as whatever? You know, like I remember one year I was like, oh, I want to be this zombie cowboy. Not a cowboy like Old West Cowboys. Dallas Cowboy. Even better.
Oh, that's great. Zombie football player.
I thought they were going to come back from the dead. They never did. So, still true.
Snap. Yeah, we're still in the grave. So, maybe not this season. I thought we looked good.
Who knows? Who knows? Yeah. But yeah, so I'll wear my Dallas Cowboys jersey, put some blood on my face. Hey, let's get some candy.
Yeah, right.
You know, and that's it.
I got to give props to my wife. My wife is hardcore. If you come to our house and ask for candy and you are not dressed up, you are not getting candy.
What?
No, there is no candy. You show up, it's usually teenagers who go, trick or treat. And they're just wearing like whatever, Crocs and gym shorts. And like Laura's like, nope, no candy. We are not rewarding this sort of effort.
Oh my gosh.
So move on down the street.
Now, what if they're teenagers, older, but they have costumes on?
No, totally.
100%.
You come to my house, you could be a 85-year-old man. I'm going to give you candy if you're dressed in a costume. 100%.
Got to dress up.
Yeah, got to dress up. You got to earn the candy. Hey. You don't just walk around and get free candy. There's a little bit of
This is true.
Effort. A little bit of a back and forth. I acknowledge your effort through my generosity of candy. Now, when you were growing up, did you know which neighbors gave the full-size candy bars?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
And it wasn't just specific neighbors. We knew of subdivisions. So you'd be like, oh, that's the rich
side of town. Yeah.
They give out king size. And here's a question, though. How many times did you actually do that? And how many times did people just say that?
Wait, the king-size candy bars?
Yeah, like if you go to that neighborhood.
Oh, I will never give out king-size candy bars. But that was something. My son is like...
No, but do you remember that?
Oh, gosh, yes. Yeah, we had a neighbor that gave out full-size candy bars. And, if you could, you could go first time, you get the candy bar, then you swap masks or swap shirts. You go back and get the second candy bar, assuming they don't know who you were. And so we would scheme the system. And nowadays, my kids, I listen to them murmur. They're like, did you hear the Robertsons are going to do king size? We got to go there first. And then we go there, and I think the parents are just pulling people's legs. You get down there, they're like, yep, we already ran out.
Oh, already ran out.
Sorry.
Here's some little Tic Tacs or something.
Yeah.
It's always the random Chinese knockoff brand.
Oh, I know. I know. All right, worst Halloween candy. Dots. It's Dots.
Dots?
Dots. No. They're like horrible.
What are those little soda
snacks.
caps? Soda caps.
Oh, bottle caps?
Bottle caps.
Oh, I like bottle caps. I like bottle caps.
There's a few of those where it's kind of like probably 10 different candies that are all just meh.
Oh yeah,
and nobody
yeah,
wants
yeah.
them.
It's that. It's
And
the
they end up at
cheap
the bottom
bag
of the
that you get at
bag.
Dollar
Yes.
General. Yeah,
That's
you're
exactly what it
don't
is.
want the Kit Kat Butterfinger bag or the Dots and Bottle Caps bag. What's our budget again? How much did we spend on gas this month? And then you go, I think we're going bottle caps.
Yeah,
It's a
we're
bottle
going
cap year.
You can see it on the kids' faces when they say trick or treat, and you pull out the handful of bottle caps.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. Here, you can have a couple. No thanks,
No, I'm
sir.
good. I'm good.
Yep. All right. So Halloween is coming up. That means we're in spooky season. Yes. October is spooky season, and I was thinking back of some of the scariest places we've been on the show, and I still get sort of the heebie-jeebies thinking about some of them. Scariest place we've ever been on the show.
Oh gosh, some of the scariest places I didn't personally go.
Oh.
I probably wouldn't have been on some of those episodes, or they would before I even got here.
Yeah.
Here's one that was a little creepy, but in a different kind of way.
Okay.
The Bordello Museum.
Oh.
San Angelo.
Yeah.
So obviously we made it creepier.
Yes.
Anybody that has seen that episode knows that. But just walking up in that hallway, you knew what kind of stuff went on there.
Oh, I know.
And it also still felt a little haunted-ish.
Oh,
you know,
no,
just
totally.
like
Totally.
creepy.
I think you can feel, those places that give you the creeps when you walk into them, probably giving you the creeps for a reason. I mean, there's some dark stuff kind of hanging around.
Now,
So,
I know what you're probably going to say, though.
I mean, I've got a couple. Magnolia Hotel.
That's what I would think.
Yeah, that's the creepiest. I think of the Saratoga Lights, Bragg
was
Road.
cool. Bragg Road.
Haunted road in Texas, they say. Fort Concho, where I had to spend the night by myself. There's some. And so rather than go too deep into it, I'm just going to pitch the episodes. They are on our YouTube page. So at the Daytripper TV on YouTube, you can find the Haunted Texas Road Trip. There's another episode called Spooky Texas that is on the PBS app, probably going to be on our YouTube soon. So go find them, and you can freak yourself out. Okay, and then there's a plug I'm going to make here for another haunted house that is here in Austin.
Ooh.
It is not a truly haunted house. It is one of the haunted houses you pay money for, but it is by far the coolest haunted house I've ever been to. All right, so it happens in Manor.
Okay.
It's called Scare for a Cure. It's a nonprofit effort, but before you go in, you sign a waiver, and they have the right to touch you, to put stuff on you, to cover you in blood. They basically tell you, like, don't wear something you want to keep. Like, plan on throwing this away as soon as you get home. I still have, like, a hat that I wore that's all stained up because of the blood that got sprayed on it. It was so cool, Daniel.
I don't know if I could do that.
You were, I mean, because it wasn't like just a bunch of jump scares like House of Torment and those, which are fine, but it's mostly like creepy room and someone jumps out at you. This was a play that you got put into.
Okay.
So you get there and you're part of this was last year's theme. It changes every year. You were part of a extraction team. Someone's daughter had been kind of gotten into a cult, and you had to go into this cult and infiltrate it to get her out. But that required you to solve all these mysteries and puzzles. So it all felt like a escape room.
Yeah.
And then at certain times, someone would scream and get their head chopped off, and blood would just blast everybody. And it was awesome. Oh, it was awesome. But it sells out like so fast. I've already got tickets. I've already got tickets this year. Yeah. And they may already be sold out. You could probably get some times at like 11 p.m. if you want to go. But you go in groups of 6 because it's very methodical. Scare for a Cure. Check it out. It's in Manor, Texas.
Sweet.
Yep. All right. So transitioning out, we're looking back at September. What happened in September, Dan?
Well,
Did the cat eat your house?
I did get a cat. We ended up getting the cat.
And do you like the cat?
I will say I do like the cat.
Okay. All right.
It's kind of, I've warmed up to the cat a little bit.
Are you the cat's favorite?
I don't know if I should say that because one of my daughters might get a little upset.
Hey.
But yeah, I'm probably getting upset. It's true. She's not. I think that I possibly am, but it also might be because I'm the one that feeds it and cleans up after it and seems to do everything. Y'all parents out there, you know how this goes.
Of course.
I said I wouldn't, and then here I am doing it all. Yeah, so we said that we weren't going to really tell anybody for like the first month because I was like, this could go a million directions.
Right.
Plus, we're allergic. Like, I don't know. It turns out that allergies are not that bad.
Okay.
Specifically because of the breed that we got.
Okay.
It's a Lynx Point Siamese.
Okay.
So it's
doesn't mean a thing to me.
Half Siamese. It's white with little stripes on it.
I saw it in when you were working from home one day. We Zoomed call.
Yeah,
like I saw it
crawling all over me.
It's a cute cat.
It is a cute cat. It's a cute cat. It has not had one accident.
What?
As long as we've had it, it has not had one accident.
Does it
actually poop
nothing? And pee?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Like
I'm just kidding. It does.
That checked out by a vet.
Cats are so much better than dogs in that area.
Oh man.
I mean, dog
people just all turned our podcast off, man.
No, but here's the thing. I'm a dog person, so that's what I'm so conflicted in this whole process.
Okay.
I'm a dog person that just got a cat. But dog people will all admit, like, you get a puppy, you're going to be training that puppy for a while.
Yeah.
It's going to have accidents.
Sure.
We
It's
put
gonna
it
whine
litter
in the
box
middle of
down.
the night.
It just started
whatever.
using it. That was it.
Wow.
Done.
I'm not reconsidering getting a cat. I am not reconsidering getting a cat.
Yeah. I wouldn't say reconsider it, but it's not. It hasn't been as bad.
Ain't that bad.
And we got a lot of good feedback from different viewers. So
viewers had some good advice about the cat. I was impressed.
The one thing that they said that I don't think I'm going to do is get a second cat. I don't know if I want to get two.
I've heard that about dogs. Like, if you're going to have one, might as well have two. Gets easier.
They said that with kids. Look at us now.
Yeah. Didn't work out so well. Because then they're like, oh, just get a third.
Yeah.
Nah, just get a fourth, a fifth, maybe. Yeah. Oh, dude. Well, so the cat's going well. I'm glad to hear it.
Cat is going well, and cat's name is Karma.
Okay. Always comes back around to get you?
You know, I kind of had it as like, this is going to be karma. And it's gonna come back and bite me. But no, Taylor Swift reference. So if anybody, Taylor Swift fans out there, my daughters are huge Swifties. And Karma's,
how long did you
Karma's
spend
a
online
cat
to get the tickets?
purring in your lap.
Oh, is that a lyric?
It's a lyric in the song. Man. Karma's a cat purring in my lap because it loves me. Flexing like an acrobat. A Las Vegas acrobat.
He's quoting. You see how deep he went with that?
I know Taylor Swift. I don't know what to tell you. I am proud. I'm a Swiftie. Did you know this?
Whoa!
I'm in the Taylor Swift fan club.
I mean, I knew that you begrudgingly, or I thought begrudgingly, listen to Taylor Swift because your kids did. But this is a moment.
Yeah,
here.
No. I had to sign up to be in her group to try to get tickets, and it didn't work out. So.
Yeah. But have you embraced Swiftiedom?
No, but I have to listen to it all the time.
All the time. Well, you got a house full of girls, man.
It's true.
You saw that she went to a football game.
I did.
The world lost its mind.
Oh,
Still
my gosh.
lost its mind.
I'm
like, she just went to a football game, guys.
Well, a football game of her boyfriend's.
Maybe. There's talk.
Pretty sure.
They didn't say anything.
They're already giving names into the football game
stuff. Like, oh, it's crazy.
You know, their couple names. Like, yeah, whatever.
Oh,
whatever.
wait. They have a couple name? What is it?
I can't remember what they...
Traveler.
Because it's Kelsey.
Okay, Travis Kelsey. Swifty.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Kelsey. Swiftsy? No, that doesn't work. All right. That's what the world needed is another celebrity couple. All right. Well, I have been watching a lot of football, mainly because my son's playing football. So we've been going to watch him. UT's been crushing it.
UT has been amazing.
We've been doing so good. This podcast is coming out on the 1st. We don't quite know how we fared against Kansas yet. But
I have high hopes.
Okay. All right. I think every game, though, for UT going forward is a trap game.
It's going to get harder.
Everybody, they got, then when you get that high ranking, you get the target on your back.
100%.
Everyone comes for you. They play like maniacs. You underestimate them, and that's just a recipe for disaster.
Every time.
So I'm most scared about OU coming up very soon. So that one will be hard. We can get past OU, then I think we're looking really good, which I'm hopeful.
You know what, though? OU is one of those games, too, where it's like we might have a terrible season, but we beat OU.
Oh, yeah, that's one of those.
Or we might beat OU, and then the rest of the season's not great. Like,
yeah, sure.
It's all up in the air.
Who knows? So, did you see... I got to go to the Rice game, which was an afternoon game, but you can already tell they've replaced the lights in the stadium with the LEDs.
You told me a little bit about
And watching Wyoming, you could see it happen.
Yes.
Touchdowns, stadium goes dark, and they start flashing lights. There was a drone show. There's smoke bombs.
A drone show.
Football has become a circus. It's nuts, and I'm here for it. I kind of like it. I mean, because the game is the game, but when they score a touchdown, you're already high-fiving. Just throw in some fireworks every time, and it's a party.
What do they do with the drones?
They put a big hook 'em in the sky.
Like they got the hand.
Yes, the hand moving around, and they did some other stuff. I forget, but
that's cool.
This is the new football.
Yeah,
I mean, we've made it into like a spectacle, which I feel okay about that as long as the game stays. As long as the game stays the game. Yeah.
I kind of felt like complaining. I started to watch some of the the professional football themes that they'll do like each week. And they've got one coming up, and it was like Toy Story themed or something. So like this whole the games on this day are going to have something to do with, and you're like, really?
Okay.
But then you kind of think about it, you're like, it's all entertainment.
Yeah, it is all entertainment.
It is a sport, but it's for entertainment.
Yeah,
purposes.
that's all it is. They're entertainers.
And they want to entertain more than just the same people. So
I saw that.
Pull other
They
people
were
in.
using augmented reality and reenacting the game in Toy Story characters.
Yes.
I didn't watch it, but
I didn't
seemed
see
to
it
be
all.
what they were doing. I need to go and check that out. So like basically taking the characters, tagging them with the avatar, and then watching the avatars play on a
Pretty
field in a toy room. Who would watch that version
I
of the
don't
game?
know. I don't know.
Is this for dads who have to watch the toddler and the toddler won't let them watch football, so they watch Toy Story version of football?
They might be onto something.
Because no one's actually watching Toy Story version of football, right?
I don't
Like
think
as the
they
game.
are.
Like I don't want to watch the real Cowboys. I'll watch the Toy Story Cowboys. That sounds so strange.
What are the odds in Vegas? I don't know. Maybe there's something to this.
Maybe. All right, we've droned on long enough. Let's talk about what's been happening in Texas.
While you've been listening to this podcast, lots of stuff's been going on in the Lone Star State. This is Meanwhile in Texas.
All right, Daniel.
Okay, Chet.
What news story did you bring?
I found something pretty cool, but before I jump into it, I have a couple little trivia questions for you.
All right. Oh, I love
okay.
trivia.
So, who's on a $2 bill?
Oh, we just looked at this. Jefferson.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Jefferson.
So $2 bill, they're still out there.
Yeah,
right?
you can find them.
You still see them.
They're going to be worth a lot of money
worth
someday.
$2.
Yeah, I know.
There's some that actually can be up to like $4,500.
What?
But it's very rare.
Okay.
Very rare.
I remember getting mad at my grandma when she gave me $2 bills, and she would say, hold on to this. It'll be worth a lot of money. And I'm like, I want money. Don't make me feel guilty for spending the money you gave me, Grandma.
Exactly. Well, okay. So what would make something worth more? It would be probably if it was no longer in circulation, right?
Okay, sure.
So $2 bills are still being circulated. They actually have $500, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 bills.
There's a $10,000 bill?
There's a $10,000 bill. But in 1969, Nixon, he said, this is giving too many opportunities for people to money launder large amounts of money. We can't have these large denominations. And it kind of didn't make sense either, because back in the 70s, like a $10,000 bill, that's more than what people were worth.
It would be cars were $6,000, $3,000,
if that.
$6,000.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll go on with some of these other ones, but a $10,000 bill, 1934 $10,000 bill, it just sold at auction in Texas. What do you think that one went for?
$10,001. I don't know. I did not even know there was a $10,000 bill.
There's a $10,000
All right, so it's a collectible.
It is the largest denomination of bill that ever went into circulation. There was a $100,000 bill, but you can't privately own it even to this day.
Like banks used it or something.
And most of the big ones were for banks to move large currencies
around. That's nuts.
So what do you think a $10,000 bill is worth? And let me add this to it. It was graded.
Okay.
By a company.
Like a baseball card?
Basically, same kind of thing. So there's a company that let me see what it's called. I can't remember what it's called. The company grades it from 4 to 70, 70 being gem uncirculated. It's basically impossible to obtain, though.
Okay,
this one was a 64.
Oh, gosh.
They said there's only been one other 64 $10,000 bill.
Ever. Okay.
This is the second one. It went for more than the last one. How much do you think this one went for?
I mean,
And it is more than 10,000.
50,000.
It went for a world-breaking
Okay.
$480,000.
Whoa! Wow. $500,000 basically.
So if your grandma would have given you one of those instead of a $2 bill,
grandma.
I mean,
come on.
Just saying, it might have been
All right,
something.
that's crazy because like, why would someone pay $500,000 for a $10,000 bill? It's the money. The money is the money. Don't pay $20 for a $10 bill. It's only worth $10.
That's what you think,
but this is something special.
It's no longer circulated.
That's crazy.
It's very rare. There's only a handful of them that are still left out there. Apparently,
I didn't even know that was a denomination.
$10,000 bill. And who do you think is on the $10,000 bill?
Oh no!
Question of the day.
I mean, it's got to be Donald Trump.
You were very close. It's actually Salmon P. Chase.
Chase Bank? Is that
I don't think
JP
it's the
Morgan
same guy.
Chase?
Salmon P.
Who
Chase.
is that? Don't tell me that's a president that I don't know of.
He was not a president.
Okay.
No, he was like I think he was a senator and he was on the Supreme Court.
Okay.
But this was a long time ago.
Justice Chase. I think
Excuse me.
think I know a Justice Chase. Somewhere in the back of my brain, that sounds familiar. That he wrote some famous opinions.
You probably have heard of him.
I
had none.
yeah. I would have failed that on a test. True or false? 50-50.
Salmon P. Chase.
Okay, he's some guy that they were like, listen, you'll be on some money that like nobody uses because it's too high.
Actually, now that I think about it, so he was actually in the administration with Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, okay.
So that long ago.
That was a long time
long
ago. Okay,
time ago.
all right. Well,
There you go.
that's
$10,000 bill.
But worth
Everybody, pull 'em out. Let's sell 'em.
$500,000. Okay, that's crazy. That's crazy. So I've got something similar. I didn't know
what do
you were
you
going to
got?
bring that story. Okay. So do you like it when you find out that some celebrities that you like kind of think, oh, these guys are super hip, are actually nerds?
Oh, I love it.
Super nerds.
Like they're like me.
Yeah,
That's
you're
what you
like,
think.
I
Wait,
like
I'm like
this
you.
guy. I like this
You're
guy.
like me.
All right. So one of the biggest rappers / singers / artists in the world right now, turns out, super nerd, Post Malone.
Oh, I knew this.
I didn't know this. I mean,
Yes.
I look at him and you think, okay, maybe he's not like as suave as Drake or something like that, but
I know he's into cards.
he's an
like magic cards. and
info
stuff.
nerd. Yes. Okay. So Post Malone, super nerd. He's a Texan. One of the other reasons
Yeah.
I wanted to bring this. Graduated from Grapevine High School, I believe. All right, Post Malone. People know him. He is super into Magic the Gathering card game, which is like that's a different dimension of nerddom.
Oh yeah.
I've tried to play, and I'm self-proclaimed nerd. I've tried to play Magic with some friends. It's so too nerdy even
It's
for me.
crazy.
I can't
It's
do
crazy.
it. Did you ever play Magic?
I tried to get into it. Like I guess it got popular right whenever I was getting into high school.
Yeah, about right. Yeah.
And I remember thinking, oh, if the cards are worth something, maybe I'll try to collect them and sell them one day.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't keep up with it. I was like, this is beyond nerdy.
It
is very nerdy.
I had friends who would bring him to high school, play with them. All right, so it turns out Post Malone is a huge Magic the Gathering fan.
Yeah.
All right, and I did some research into this because I'll get to the news story eventually, but the Magic the Gathering started in the early 90s. Mm-hmm. There is a card that was part of that original set that's super rare called Black Lotus. I guess it's
I knew this.
medicine or something like that. You
No,
knew
it's,
about
it's
it?
a flower.
Yeah, it's a flower, but in the game you use it like medicine to heal you or give you powers or something.
See, okay, that's the thing. I don't know how to play that well. I knew the cards, but
Well, if you compare your hit points from your health points, and then I couldn't think, it was too much math. So, all right, this Black Lotus card from '93, it's original.
Yeah.
Recently sold for over $500,000. A well-graded one. Okay.
Okay.
So Post Malone just set a record, and he bought a card recently from an individual for $2 million. He paid $2 million for one Magic the Gathering card.
Does it
And
like
you
have
think
diamonds all over it or
well, you would
something?
think. No, it doesn't.
What?
And it's not even old. It just came out this year. But here's the deal. It was a one of one. All right. So one of one. This is the only person.
Okay.
Post Malone now owns the only of these. It was a collaboration between Magic the Gathering and Lord of the Rings. Nerd universes colliding.
Wow.
And I love Lord of the Rings. And it was a card of the one ring to rule them all. One ring to bind them.
it wasn't.
It was. So it is called the ring card. It's like gold embossed. It only has Elvish writing on it. And it is a 1 of 1. And it was found, and Post Malone bought it from the individual and paid $2 million for it.
Did he decide the $2 million?
No, I think that was just the rate. Because here I did some research. Magic announced that they were releasing this card, but they didn't tell anyone where. And it was like Willy Wonka's golden tickets. All right?
Oh, it was in a pack.
It was in a pack on the shelves.
Oh,
and
man.
People started offering bounties of up to $1 million. If you find this, I will buy it from you for $1 million. So it caused this mad rush, and somebody found it. I forget where they're from, but somebody bought it. Post Malone wanted to buy it. They struck a deal, $2 million. Does this help him win every Magic for now on? Like, he's playing in the back of a comic book shop, and they're like, "Oh, you're about to defeat me." And he goes, "Bam!" And they're like, "Screw this guy." They he just
nobody'd ever want to play with him anymore.
The trump card. It's like having the ace of spades and spades. You just
walk around with it.
In his pocket.
He's probably gonna have it like on a chain.
He's going to start rapping his concerts. That's a flex.
Yeah,
that's a flex for everybody right there.
Oh, my gosh.
I just couldn't believe it. Post Malone was that dorky, and it kind of made him a little more relatable.
Hey, so should we start collecting $10,000 bills or Magic the Gathering
cards? Good question. Good question. I'm just all going in on bourbon. That's it.
Bourbon's good.
Yeah,
I'll stick with that.
Except you just drink it, and
I was going to say, you don't eat your Magic.
Yeah, that's a good.
Cards,
that's a very good
$10,000 bills.
Very good point. All right, so let's move on from the collectible market.
Oh gosh.
This time on the Daytripper collectibles and cards, we'll open up a little gift shop. Okay. I did collect football cards growing up. In the 90s, I was big into football cards. Was told these are going to be worth a lot of money. I checked the values the other day. They're worth less now than they were in the 90s.
Oh.
It was a scam, Daniel. It was all a big scam.
I know I spent hundreds.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe thousands.
My Emmitt Smith collection is enormous. And I thought it was going to set me up someday. I'd have a house in Fiji. Nope. All right. Let's jump over into the Texas Music Minute. This is where we bring you guys an artist. Maybe you've heard of them, maybe you haven't, but it's a way to bring a little light to somebody here in Texas. So this past September 10th, in fact, we lost a legend in Texas country music. Charlie Robison died at the age of 59. So maybe you were mourning the loss of Charlie. Maybe you were on the outside going, who's Charlie? Charlie had a big following, but he was always kind of niche within the Texas country realm. Mm-hmm. Certainly had some hits, but he passed away September 10th. And now here's a little history on Charlie for those that don't know, and maybe they like his music, but you don't know much about him. Born in Houston, 1964, raised in Bandera. So that was Bandera in the 70s and 80s. That was a different Bandera, right? That was out there. He was making Americana music before it was cool. He released his first album in 96 titled Bandera, which led to a deal with Sony. And then his first album off of there were his biggest hits. There's Life of the Party. His biggest hits came from, including what a lot of people know, My Hometown. Mm-hmm. I'll see you round my hometown. You know this one. Maybe
not as well as you do.
Yeah. All right. So then Bar Light was another one. Bar Light, Bar Bright, first bar I see tonight or something like that.
Yes.
Okay. So he had a group of hits in the 90s. At the end of 99, he married Emily Robison, now Strayer, the guitar player for the Dixie Chicks.
Oh.
Yeah. AKA the Chicks. So you had Natalie, you had Emily, you had Marty. Emily and Marty were sisters. Emily married Charlie Robison. So
I didn't realize that.
They were kind of a power couple in Nashville for a while. Eventually got divorced. And in 2018, Charlie had to have a surgery on his throat that was botched. And so he retired from singing because the surgery got botched so much. It was like a tonsillectomy and some other stuff. He was having trouble breathing. So he retired, and little did we know, in 2022, just last year, he made a comeback, and everybody celebrated his return, but little did we know it would actually be his farewell tour. but he did get to see the stage one more time, touring around, singing songs. So if you know My Hometown, we're going to put that on a shelf. You probably know that song. We're going to play another song that I love of Charlie's. It was covered by the Turnpike Troubadours, which helped push it into another realm, but it's Charlie's song, and it's called New Year's Day.
Up early Sunday morning, I had myself a piece of toast, had $50 in my pocket, gonna chase myself a ghost, went down Camino Espinosa, gonna get me a divorce, I'm gonna split with all my money to see that girl who loves a horse. It's New Year's Day here on the border, and it's always been this way. I never do the things I oughter. I think I'll stay. It's New Year's Day. Well, I met them boys there from old Connor, a cowboy like you.
All right. It's good too.
It's a good one. It's a good
Have
one.
you heard that before?
I've heard that one. Like I recognize it. I just don't know it as one of the songs I know of his.
His. I think Turnpike Troubadours made that song way more famous.
Yeah.
But it's a Charlie song. It's great. Our office administrator, Teresa, got to see Charlie recently at Troubadour Fest, the barbecue music fest that gets put on all over the state. And she said it was awesome. It's kind of his comeback, and then we lost him too soon. So y'all go play some Charlie Robison music, El Cerrito Place, My Hometown, Bar Light, and just, raise a toast, Charlie Robison. He was one of the greats. Okay, here we go. Questions from the back seat.
Are we there yet?
Hey, can you pass me the snacks?
When are we gonna stop? I gotta go.
Pause for bumper. Okay, this comes from Rena Mendel Krolchik. What is the most haunted place in Texas? And I had to look this up. Some of the ones on the list, I'm like, of course. Some of them, like, oh, I didn't realize there were that many
So
ghosts
she's not
there.
asking what you think. She's
No,
asking for
what is like
a definitive answer.
And how do you say it's the most haunted place? I guess like number of ghosts. Do the ghosts tell you who they are? Do they come in with name tags?
question.
How do we do this?
I mean, you could just say the biggest cemetery in Texas could be the most haunted place.
yeah, but not all cemeteries are haunted, I would say.
But they got a lot of dead bodies.
They do have a lot of dead bodies. Does that mean ghosts?
I don't know.
Not necessarily.
I don't know.
I would say maybe the number of encounters that are there.
Okay, maybe that's what it is.
I don't know. So anyway, this is something people smarter than me on the internet have put together. And so I give you a list. One of those is Travel Tex, the official tourism board of Texas, trying to get people to go see them. Tex Highways has done a list. And so this is kind of a combination of all of them. But what was common across pretty much every list, and I've heard this before, most haunted place in Texas, the Driscoll Hotel in downtown Austin.
I've heard this many times.
I've taken a ghost tour of that. Super spooky.
Really?
Yes. There are a couple rooms that are notoriously haunted. One is because a bride or a couple brides committed suicide there. Supposedly, Driscoll's daughter fell down the stairs and died, so she's still around. And if you're interested in this kind of thing, there is a haunted ghost tour of downtown Austin, or I believe the Driscoll itself gives ghost tours. So if you just go and talk to any clerk there, walk in. The Driscoll's cool just to walk into.
Oh, it's a cool hotel.
A lot of people think just, I'm not staying there, I can't go inside. Yes, you can. The lobby's public. Like, walk in, take it in. They've got an amazing old bar, a great restaurant. You feel like you're like sitting with cowboys, It's so the Driscoll Hotel, another hotel, Hotel Galvez in Galveston.
Ooh.
Super haunted. The USS Lexington aircraft carrier. And
That's
I know
new.
that we learned some ghost stories there. I spent the night on the Lexington with the scouts.
I remember
and
that.
It was hilarious. They put all the boys and parents to sleep with the ghost stories. So if you wanted to hear the ghost stories, you went at like 11 p.m. right before you had to hit the hay, and they told all these stories. I'm telling you, if you had to pee in the middle of the night, you sort of like wanted to wake up a buddy. Hey, will you please help? Because we were in these bunk beds like down in the galley. You had to walk up to the deck to go pee. Not the deck, but like one of the main levels. And you always kind of wanted a buddy for that one. There's a famous old bar in Houston called La Carafe.
Okay.
Has lots of ghost stories. That's known as a very haunted place. Terlingua, the town.
Ooh.
And let us not forget, we must always remember the Alamo.
Okay. The Alamo.
You don't.
I wouldn't have thought that.
I wouldn't have either. The Alamo. Because of its history, maybe they don't want to minimize it by doing ghost tours, but supposedly there's a lot of stuff there.
But I mean, if you were going to talk about like old missions, I mean,
probably, Goliad.
I would probably be even worse.
Surely. We need one of the people with those ghostometers to go out there and be like,
I think
boop,
so.
boop, 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 this has 100. Boop, 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 this got
It's
2.
kind of hard when you look across across the street and you see Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Oh, I know.
It's like, how haunted could this place
Does it
be?
really be?
You know?
Yeah.
It's right there in the middle of everything.
But that was part of the battlefield of the Alamo. So maybe it is spooky. All right, here we go. This is from a YouTube comment. You are, quote, silly. Who pulled your leash to grovel over all these pedestrian places? Christopher Pohl said this. Christopher
You're silly.
thinks that we are a puppet, essentially, making commercials for towns because they're paying us. And I want to make sure to just dispel this myth. They are not paying us.
They are not paid. Wait,
we
what?
do not. Yeah, you're not getting paid. You're getting paid because I sold a Magic the Gathering card years ago.
Oh, okay.
And you're living off of all those.
That's what that
all
money.
That.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Chris, you got to change your perspective, man. First, we're not getting paid by the cities. We do this because we're funded by our partners, not because of the cities pay us. And we get to say whatever we want about these cities. And we think they're great. So no one is pulling our leash. And you need to change your perspective because there's great stuff to do in even the most pedestrian of places.
So true.
You're going to go and you're just going to go look on Instagram and see where the cool kids tell you to go? Come on, give me a break. That's lame. Go out there, man. Start mix and mingle. Find your own cool things to do. And in order to do that, you're going to have to sort of get off the beaten path and look for some stuff in unexpected places. So, I mean, the show speaks for itself. If you go on YouTube or watch on PBS, yeah. That's all we'll say to Christopher.
There you go.
All right. John Tankersley. John the Tank Tankersley? Surely his last name's not Tankersley and then his middle name is Tank. That'd be awesome. Be some awesome parents.
He goes by the Tank.
I think he goes by the Tank.
Yeah.
All right. What makes Big Bend such a draw for campers and hikers? He doesn't get it.
He doesn't. Oh,
Well, but he's never been, so he's asking.
If he hasn't been, then I'll be okay with that question. It's amazing. It's huge. You wouldn't expect to see something like that in Texas.
No.
Especially if you haven't really been in Texas long or don't know a lot about Texas terrain. It's just not like the rest of Texas.
Not at all.
So amazing.
Yeah.
People that, go hang out, do 14ers in Colorado or do other things around the country, they will still come to Big Bend and go, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
It's not just like, hey, that's not bad for Texas. This is a huge park.
Yes.
Lots
Enormous.
to see, lots to do.
The desert terrain is different. The wildlife's different.
It's just so cool.
Javelinas, mountain lions, wild mules.
And you got to get out there too. I guess that's the other cool thing.
Peregrine falcons.
You really do feel like you're on the other side of the planet.
Yeah, a different planet, right? Yeah. It is. Big Bend is one of those things. I know this firsthand because I had to convince Laura. She goes, I don't want to go to the desert and look at cactus. But she went. She was like, as soon as you get there, oh, I get it. Okay, now I get it. Because it's one of those places, like, it's hard to explain, but as soon as you arrive, you understand. That's Big Bend.
It's something huge that makes you feel how small you kind of are.
Ooh, good. Yeah.
And it's an introspective little thing that happens, I think. Anytime you go stand in front of a mountain and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is huge.
Yep.
Same kind of thing, but you're just all encompassed by, the park.
That's right.
So it's very awesome. There's not a ton of words to say. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's amazing.
John, get out there, just hop in your car
check it
and
out,
go. Camping is awesome out there, and you can, of course, camp in the low desert where it's super hot, so only do that like in the colder months. Don't do that in the middle of summer. Or camp up in the high mountains, is where even in the summer it gets cold at night. It's awesome, man. It's awesome. All right. Great questions. If you have questions, email us, contact@thedaytripper.com, and we will sort through them and pick some good ones. We like happy ones and mean ones, too, like old Christopher Pohl. All right, so let's go up to things that people just sort of needed us to know.
Hey, Daytripper, I got a bone to pick with you. Oh my goodness, it's the Daytripper. We love your show.
Here we go. Seems we started a bit of a controversy online by saying where the word Texas came from.
Yeah, I saw some of those comments.
We kicked a hornet's nest, and I did not expect it. All right, so if you go back and listen to the podcast, or you check out the reel on our Instagram or our TikTok, you'll find us presenting what is the generally accepted origin of the word Texas. It came from a Native American word of the Caddo Indians, Teisha, which means friend or ally.
The word Tejas came from Teisha.
Correct.
Yes.
Well, we know Texas came from a Spanish word Tejas. The Spanish word Tejas came from a Caddo word Teisha.
Yes.
All right? It's a pretty good story.
And
right?
that's, like you said, generally accepted.
That's generally accepted.
It's actually hard to find other information.
Yeah. So all the people online, we got people wrong. Tejas means roof shingles. It says you're wrong. It comes from Texas, which is Tejas, which is kind of roofing that was used on houses at the time. All right. One, I did not even know the word Tejas meant roof shingle. And so my first reaction was, oh my gosh, maybe we got the history wrong. Maybe the history books are teaching us something different than the truth. And so I dug deep into this origin. And it turns out we did not name our state after roof shingles.
No, we did not.
No. That word, I don't know what the etymology of that word is, but it came about, and it has nothing to do with the way we named our state.
Yeah.
So all the historians agree, for the most part. Now, there's another thing that might be a separate explanation, but I'll get to that. So for everyone out there, the word Texas did not come from the Spanish word for roof shingles. However,
the word Teja does mean roof tile.
It does. Yeah, Tejas means roof tiles.
Yeah.
It does. It does. We'll give you that, but that is
not where
that
it
is
came from.
Unrelated to the Mexican state of Tejas.
Yep.
Unrelated. Okay?
Yep.
Because, I mean, I'll give you some examples. There's no accounts of the early explorers mentioning anything about the roof tiles of the people who lived here. Nothing. That is not in the history books at all. So you could kind of make that assumption and think, well, it means roof tiles. They must have been observing the roof tiles of the native Indians that lived here and think, oh, that's roof tile, whatever.
But if it was significant, they would have said something.
These things. Yeah, they would have said something. They did not. So the generally accepted meaning does come from the Spanish friars and monks who came here. The word Teisha was a word for friend or ally between the two. That's generally accepted, so that's what the history books say. I did do a little bit of a deeper dive, and there are some historians who think that it might have actually come before that from some of the Spanish explorers who came here, and they were making observations, seeing bald cypress trees, which looked like a tree from the old country that were called Teja. Maybe. We don't know that. That is one historian who's trying to put the pieces together. But, you know, where did it come from? Without a time machine, we're not going to know for sure.
Crazy.
But we know that it did not come from the word roof tiles.
Wow.
There we go.
So not only did we kick that hornet nest, but we went back to it.
And just punched. Yeah. We want to. We're trying to take the sting out of it, guys. So it is a Spanish. Tejas means roof tiles in Spanish, but that is different from the origin of this name of our state. So there you go, guys.
It's done.
Do some research before you snap back online. All right, because we've been called some pretty nasty things in the comments there, and not that I'm mad about it. You say whatever you want online, but let's not get history wrong, and let's not kind of be venomous without maybe looking into it.
I think so.
So okay, that was a fun one. Now here we go. This is something that came up on our turkey episode. And I'm going to take this as a compliment. This is from Blech Droshek, 5984. Chet, He's white on the outside, but most definitely brown on the inside. The way you described how there's something about a good Mexican breakfast, oh, that is so true. Made hearty so we can have the energy to hit the duties on the rancho. like, that's a compliment. He means this as a compliment, so I'll take it as a compliment. And so it's pretty funny. I like it. I like it. I love Mexican food. I do. I just love it. And it feels like, I'm not Mexican, obviously, but grew up in a state that is of Mexican origin, lots of Hispanic friends, Mexican friends. And so when I get together and I eat that food, I feel like it's a bit of my culture too. So I love that food. By association,
Tex-Mex
right?
food.
Yeah, Tex-Mex.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tex-Mex originated in San Antonio. So thank you. Thank you for the compliment. All right. Oh, you got some cat advice here from Jennifer Gray, Daniel.
Oh, more cat
advice for Daniel. I've had cats for 40 plus years, and it's true. 2 are better than 1.
Oh, gosh.
And if you're getting a kitten, kittens are super energetic, love to wrestle. If you have 2, they'll train each other to be better cats, less destructive. We'll go back to my thing about the Siamese cats from Lady and the Tramp. That's false. That's false.
2 Siamese.
We know.
You just don't put them together.
Yeah, don't do it. 1 kitten will scratch and bite people because they don't have anyone else to wrestle with, and they're trying to wrestle with you. But when they wrestle each other, they teach each other what hurts. Don't be so rough. They keep each other entertained. They don't climb your curtains. It will benefit you in the long run. And when Chet was talking about the huge cat, maybe he was talking about a Savannah cat. They look big, but tabby cats can also get really big. There was a cat. I'm going to look it up right now. Savannah cat. Where is this? Here we go.
The Savannah cat.
Savannah cat. Maybe. They can live up to 20 years. Daniel.
Yeah.
You're going to become an old man with this cat.
I don't know who's going to keep the cat. Like, does it go with Brooklyn? It's her cat.
First off, yeah, a Savannah cat is awesome. It looks like a ocelot or a bobcat that lives in your house.
Oh, yeah, I've seen these.
I might get one of these.
Those look amazing.
They're probably like $3,000.
They're expensive. Oh, and their diet is crazy.
Oh, you got to feed them like raw meat because they're used to living in the wilderness?
That's exactly what you have to do.
Oh, no.
Yep. I mean, all cats really are supposed to have more of a raw meat kind of diet, but those really have to have raw meat.
That's crazy. That's like you're like you're the Tiger King.
Yeah.
Sitting in here with the big old thing. Wow. All right. Okay.
All right.
Well, we've gone really long on this podcast. Let's wrap it up. Thank you to our sponsor, Collin County History Museum. Remember, go and check them out. Created in Collin County is a really fun exhibit. You can learn about Old Haystacks Calhoun. Thank you very much. Alex Fort over here.
Hey.
I just learned is my birthday buddy, September 29th. We're recording this a little before so it can go live on the 1st. Happy birthday, Alex.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you very much. Join us next time. We'll talk some more Texas. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, all the things. Daniel, we'll say our goodbyes.
See y'all next time.
And vaya con Dios, amigos.